If you're a man over 60, and the first thing you drink each morning is coffee, you might be waking up more tired than you should. I know that sounds strange. Because for decades we've been told coffee is what gives us energy. That it wakes us up, gets us going, helps us feel sharp. But here's the truth. For many men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, coffee isn't waking you up, it's wearing you down. I've seen it over and over again. Men dragging through their mornings. Foggy, anxious, with a racing heart and no steady energy. And they think, maybe I'm just getting old, but what if I told you it's not your age? It's not your sleep. It's not your motivation. It's the first thing you're putting in your body. And the fix? It doesn't come in a capsule. It doesn't come in another shot of espresso. It comes from a simple drink that takes less than 60 seconds to make. No caffeine. No crash. Just results. In this video, I'm going to show you why your mornings feel harder than they need to be, what your brain and blood vessels are actually craving after sleep, and how one easy drink made from ingredients you already have can help you wake up stronger, clearer, and more like yourself again. So if you're ready to feel sharp, to feel steady, to feel like the man who starts his day on his own terms, stay with me. Because this one shift could change how you feel in the first hour of your day, and that first hour? It sets the tone for everything. Let me ask you something real. How do you feel in the first hour of your day? Not what you say to your wife. Not what you push through because you've got things to do. But, really? Do you feel clear? Strong? Focused? Or do you wake up like most of my patients do, men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, sitting at the edge of the bed, blinking at the wall, wondering, why'd I already feel behind? You slept. You rested. But still your body feels stiff. Your mind? Foggy. Your chest? A little tight. And deep down, you feel disconnected from the man you used to be. Sometimes you drink coffee to shake it off. But 30 minutes later, your heart's racing, your hands feel jittery, and your focus is even worse. Sometimes you don't feel like eating. You just get moving. But everything feels like a slow start, like your engine isn't firing right. And quietly, silently, you start to wonder, is this just what aging feels like? Am I just fading? But here's what I want you to hear, not from a commercial, not from a magazine headline, but from someone who's sat across from hundreds of men just like you. This isn't your fault. This isn't weakness. And this is not the end of your strength. What you're experiencing in the morning isn't a lack of willpower. It's a mismatch between what your body needs and what it's getting. Your cells are dehydrated. Your brain is running low on oxygen and electrolytes. Your heart is trying to find rhythm after a night of slowed metabolism. And your nervous system is waking up under a wave of cortisol. And then what do most men do? They pour in caffeine. A stimulant. Into a system that's still calibrating. That's like slamming on the gas while your engine's still cold. No wonder you feel anxious. No wonder your energy doesn't last. No wonder that spark, the one you used to trust, feels so hard to find. But the good news is, we can change that. And it starts with a drink. One simple drink. Made not to stimulate you but to support you. To tell your blood, your nerves, your brain, I've got you. Let's start steady, and that's what I'll show you next. My name is Dr. Catherine Rocker. And for more than 30 years, I've had the privilege of working with men, not just in hospital rooms or exam tables, but in the quiet spaces where the real struggles lie. I've sat across from grandfathers, veterans, retired teachers, former athletes, men who once moved with fire in their chest, who now sit down, lower their voice, and quietly ask me, Doc, why do my mornings feel so empty? Why does it take me so long to feel like myself again? And you know what? I never blame their age. Because I've seen it again and again, how the body can still rise. How clarity can return. How energy, focus, and even that quiet, confident strength can come back. But only when we stop treating our mornings like a battle, and start treating them like a foundation. You see, I don't believe in waking up with fear, or pushing through fatigue with stimulants, or silencing symptoms with pills. What I do believe in, is giving your body exactly what it's been asking for, with timing, with care, and with wisdom. And the drink I'm going to show you today? It's not a miracle. It's not a secret formula. It's just biology, done right. For your age. For your rhythm. For your return. Let me walk you through it. Let's take a look inside your body, in the first 5 minutes after you wake up. Because this is the moment when everything either sets you up for power, or slowly pulls it away. After a full night of sleep, your body is dehydrated. You've gone 6 to 8 hours without water. Your blood is thicker. Your heart has to work harder just to circulate. Low on electrolytes. Minerals like sodium, potassium, magnesium are slightly depleted. These control your blood pressure, your focus, your nerve signals. Running on low dopamine and low glucose, your brain's fuel is low. But it doesn't need sugar, it needs the right signal to turn on calmly. Flooded with cortisol, that's your natural, wake-up, hormone. It's not bad. But if you add stress too quickly, like caffeine or rushing, cortisol stays high, and testosterone stays low. So what do most men do? They reach for coffee. But coffee, especially first thing, doesn't hydrate. It doesn't replenish minerals. It doesn't calm your nerves. It spikes you. It gives you a surge of alertness, yes, but it borrows energy from later in the day. That's why by 10 a.m. you feel foggy. By 2 p.m., your brain crashes. And by evening, you feel completely drained. And here's the worst part. When cortisol stays high too long, your testosterone can't rise. Your blood vessels stay tight. And your nervous system stays in defense mode, not performance mode. So what do we do instead? We start with a drink that tells your body, you're safe, you're hydrated, you're ready, and that drink? I'll show you next. It's warm. It's mineral rich. It takes less than a minute to make. And I've seen it change the mornings and the lives of men who thought their sharpness was gone for good. Let me tell you about George. George is 69. A retired postal worker from Michigan. He's the kind of man who never missed a day of work in 42 years. But lately, he told me, "Doc, I wake up, drink my coffee, and still feel like I'm dragging one leg behind me all morning." He wasn't sleeping poorly. He wasn't depressed. But something felt off. He said his thoughts were slow. His hands felt tight. And most mornings, he just sat in his kitchen staring at the wall, coffee in hand, waiting for the day to start working. I asked him, "George, what's the first thing that touches your body in the morning?" He looked confused. "My coffee, of course." So I said, "Let's try something different." Just for 7 days, and here's what I gave him. Lemon the morning wake up drink, a simple, natural recipe I've used with hundreds of men. It rehydrates, restores minerals, calms cortisol, and tells your body, we're back. Let's begin. Here's how to make it. 1 cup of warm water, about 250 milliliters. Not cold, not boiling. Just warm enough to soothe. 1 slice of fresh ginger, thinly cut or gently crushed. 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, freshly squeezed. A tiny pinch of Celtic sea salt or pink Himalayan salt. Optional. 1/2 teaspoon of raw honey if you need a hint of sweetness. Stir it. Sit down. Drink it slowly within 5 to 10 minutes of waking. Why this works? Warm water wakes your digestive and circulatory systems without shock. Ginger improves blood flow and brain oxygenation. Lemon stimulates your liver and balances pH. Salt replenishes essential electrolytes for nerve function and blood pressure. Honey, if added, helps support blood glucose gently, without a spike. It's not just a drink. It's a signal. And George? He called me 5 days in. "Doc, I don't know how to describe it. I feel lighter. Clearer. Like I'm not fighting gravity when I wake up." 2 weeks later, he added this. My wife told me my eyes look alive again. And I'll be honest. I've noticed something stirring in the mornings that hasn't happened in a while. He laughed. I smiled. Because I've seen it happen before. When you give your body what it's truly asking for, not caffeine, but support, it responds with something deeper than alertness. It responds with presence. Now let's talk about what most men get wrong in the first hour after waking up. Not because they're careless, but because no one ever told them what their body actually needs. I call these silent energy leaks. Little habits that feel normal, but slowly chip away at your clarity, your strength, and your confidence. Let's walk through them. Crossmark mistake number 1. Reaching for coffee immediately. I get it. The smell. The comfort. The routine. But here's what you may not realize. Coffee is a nervous system stimulant. And if you drink it before your body is hydrated, nourished, and grounded, it doesn't wake you up. It jolts you. That early caffeine spike raises your cortisol. And instead of rising with balance, you start your day in a mild fight or flight state. The result? Shaky focus, uneven energy, mood swings, and suppressed testosterone production. Crossmark mistake number 2. Skipping water. You've just spent 6 to 8 hours breathing, sweating, processing. And yet most men don't drink anything for the first 2 hours of their day. This causes your blood to thicken slightly, your brain to work harder, and your heart to strain, especially if you're already managing blood pressure. Even just a cup of warm water can make a difference in circulation and cognitive clarity. Crossmark mistake number 3. Drinking cold water right away. This surprises most men. Cold water might feel refreshing, but it sends a shock signal to your digestive and vascular systems, especially when your core body temp is still rising. It causes vasoconstriction, tightening of blood vessels right when we want them to open and flow. Crossmark mistake number 4. Ignoring the nervous system. Most men go straight from sleep to screens, to phone alerts, to noise. This triggers cortisol before your system has had a chance to find its rhythm. If you start your day in defense mode, don't be surprised when you feel tired, distracted, and off by mid-morning. The truth is, you don't need more willpower. You just need better rhythm. Because your body isn't fighting you. It's just waiting for you to stop fighting it. And that starts by changing what you reach for, in the first few minutes of the day. Tomorrow morning, you'll have that chance. The question is, will you give your body what it's been waiting for? Imagine this. It's 6:32 a.m. You've just opened your eyes. There's no alarm blaring, no phone lighting up your face, just the soft quiet of a new day. Instead of rushing to stand up, you pause. You sit at the edge of the bed. Your feet find the floor. And you take a breath, not because someone told you to, but because your body is asking for a moment. Inhale, hold, exhale slowly, like releasing the weight of the night. You walk into the kitchen, still quiet. But today, you don't go straight for the coffee pot. You reach for the mug you placed out the night before. You pour warm water over a slice of ginger. You squeeze half a lemon. You stir in a pinch of sea salt. Maybe you add a little honey, not for sweetness, but for warmth. You sit down with this simple drink and you don't gulp it. You greet it. As the warmth flows through your chest, you feel your body begin to respond, not react. There's no buzz. No spike. No rush. Just arrival. By the time the cup is empty, your blood pressure is steadier. Your digestion is awake. Your brain has oxygen and minerals again. Now, if you want your coffee, go ahead. But this time, you're not using it to wake up. You're already awake. And when you finally check your phone, your hands are calm. Your thoughts are grounded. You're not pulled in 100 directions, you're centered. This is what it looks like when a man over 60 stops rushing into his day like he's running late for life, and starts entering it like he owns it. That's the shift. And once you feel it, once you taste what a real morning can be like, you won't go back. Because you'll realize, you don't need more energy. You just need the right beginning. You didn't lose your sharpness. It didn't vanish one day when you turned 60. It didn't leave with your old job, or your athletic frame, or your once fast heartbeat. It's still here. In you. Maybe it's just been buried, under the noise, the routine, the years of waking up and reaching for things that never really fed you. You see, I've sat across from hundreds of men who quietly believed the same thing, that they were fading. That their clarity was gone. That their best days lived somewhere in the rearview mirror. But every time once we slowed things down, once we stopped chasing stimulation and started feeding restoration, they began to come back. Not like someone else. Not some younger version of themselves. But as them, now present, grounded, awake. Because your mind was never the problem. Your worth was never in question. Your fire never fully went out. It was just waiting for you to start the morning by listening instead of forcing. To stop jabbing yourself awake, and start nourishing your body the way it's designed to respond. And when you do that, when you rise on your own rhythm, when you offer your blood, your brain, your breath what it truly needs, what comes back isn't just focus. It's ownership. It's dignity. It's you. If this message reached you not just in your mind, but somewhere deeper, then maybe this morning, or the next, you'll try something different. You'll pour that warm water. Slice that ginger. Let the salt melt in. Take a breath before the world comes in. And if you do and something shifts, even just a little, let me know. Not for me, but for you. So that you remember that you still matter. That your rhythm still matters. Type, "I'm ready," in the comments, see if that feels true. Or don't. Just sit with yourself a moment longer tomorrow. And if you know a mana brother, a friend, your father who's been waking up with fog in his head and quiet in his chest, send this to him. Not to fix him. Not to tell him what to do. But to remind him that he is not alone. We are building something here. Not a fan club. Not a health trend. But a quiet brotherhood of men who are willing to return to themselves. And if you're one of them, welcome back. We've been waiting for you. Stethoscope with care and deep respect, Drive. Catherine Rocker.